Okay, welcome to story time. This one is about this guy right over here. Who is he? Who's behind the mask? This is where I'm going to tell you. So, a couple years ago, we bought the Jack Link Sasquatch costume, and we went and did a little trick or treating thing at a place. They call it Trunk or Treat. It's a big old, takes place in this big subdivision that's very well spread out. And instead of having all these people all over, what they do is that there's a big parking lot. Everybody gets together, parks, and hands out candy to all the little kids and everything like that. So we had the great idea that get the Sasquatch costume, and went and dressed up in it, and then immediately ran into the bushes. And I ran my ass off to keep any kids from seeing me. And the one thing I didn't think about is the fact that, we were at like 8,000 feet elevation. So once I get to my spot, I am just in a costume that I cannot breathe in. I'm getting more carbon dioxide than I am oxygen, and I am huffing and puffing my ass off. And so I sit there for a minute and I just pretend like me, the Sasquatch is eating grass and just sitting there, and then I peek around the tree. And as I peek around the tree, I look and I see like this little kid sees me, and they go and he's telling his mom. I'm like, mom, look at that. And I kind of peek around a little bit more. I'm playing the role. And mom gets her phone out and she's like taking pictures. And so I jump up, act scared, and I start running again. And I run my ass off, and I find myself behind another tree, and the huffing and puffing has not subsided, and it continues. And I'm like, and I look around the tree, and now I see a group of like 4 or 5 little bit older kids that see me, but I mean they're still like 7 or 8, and so I look I look around, and all of a sudden, like, instead of just like looking through the trees and everything like that, these kids are like starting to walk over to me like, we're going to go and investigate this. And so they start walking over, and they have to cross this little creek. The grass is real tall. The grass is like covering up the little creek, and they start getting closer and closer to me. And I'm like, I don't have what it takes to just run away and have these kids chase me. So I do what any normal adult would do, is I jump out and I throw my arms up in the air and I scream at them and I run towards them. And then the kids start screaming, and then I just go, oh, and I jump up and throw my hands up and I run the other direction. And meanwhile, while I'm watching these kids running away from me, I watch like 2 of them just nose into this creek and the grass and kind of eat it. Everybody was okay. The human in me went and checked back later after this, but I run away, and I'm running and I'm huffing and puffing, and just, man, it wore me out. It was hysterical. Did a couple more little routines of that and ran away until finally I was pouring sweat inside of this thing, and I could not breathe. So Sasquatch had to take a break. But when I did the podcast with Sam, I was like, because it's very much a tin hat type of podcast and everything, I figured I'd break the Sasquatch mask out. And I was like, how in the hell am I going to put this thing how am I going to set him up? And I remembered, I have a head. What kind of head, you ask? I have a head that I did out of clay in high school. So what I will do is I will pull back the hairy curtain and let you see the head. And there it is. So many of you ask, who is that? What is that? We were tasked. We had to draw, or we had to come up with somebody that we wanted to do. And so what I did was I was very into, motocross racing, all that stuff. I did Jeff Emmig's head. Now, that was almost 28 years ago that I did this, and I kept it for quite a long time. But then in 2019, as we moved to Colorado, I was like, dude, it's time to cut loose. Bailey rips on me and calls me a hoarder and makes fun of me. So I'm like, well, fuck it. I threw it in the dumpster at my parents' house. It's heavy. So I'm like, any weight that I could drop in the move, that's good. Well, when we come back, we moved out here, we closed on our house on Halloween of 2019 and then moved in on November 2nd. Well, right around the corner, we're here for a couple weeks, and then we head back to San Diego for Thanksgiving. And when I go over to my parents' house, I walk in and I look at my dad's desk, and there's the fucking head sitting right there. Laughed my ass off, but I was like, I guess if dad wants it, dad wants it. I didn't think he'd be any sentimental to it at all. But I was not going to take it back. It was, congratulations, Dad. This is yours now. Well, fast forward a handful of months, heading into August of 2020, my dad passed on August 10th, and totally by surprise. My parents were in the process of selling their house in Alpine, and they, like, escrow fucking closed on the day, or the house went into escrow the day that my dad passed. It was fucking gut-wrenching, but I was out here in Colorado, and what my parents had done is they hopped in. They'd been loading up, packing up everything. My sister had moved to Missouri. My parents' plan was to move to Missouri, and so they loaded up their trailer with just a bunch of random shit. My dad's dump trailer, just all like shop stuff and tools and all everything like that. And they took their first load back to Missouri. And so my dad passes. I immediately fly back to Missouri to be with my mom and sister. And as we're there, we're just kind of going through shit that was in the trailer, the tools and stuff like that. Just like, okay, I mean, the next move is to just start getting rid of things that my mom can't handle. And as we're going through the trailer, there's this brown ballot box, almost like a complaint department box. And it was like, I grab it. It was heavy. Like, what the hell is in here? And I open it up, and it's Jeff Emmig's head. And it's one of those things where you fucking laugh and you cry a little bit. But I just looked at it and I was like, God damn it. Tried getting rid of it. Dad picked it out. And now that it had just traveled, I don't know, 22,000 miles back to Missouri, and I see it, I'm like, well, now I have to fucking keep it. So, just because of all of that. So, here it is sat at my house for the last almost 6 years with, I don't know what the hell to do with it. I don't use it or anything, but he's come to good use as a Sasquatch head mount. So now you have the story behind the eyes behind the Sasquatch mask. Thanks for joining. Later.